Okay. Is that the homie Dom? Is that who I'm hearing?
Yes, sir.
There it
We're in the
is.
house.
Let's go, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Y'all thought it was a game. We don't play. We leaning on the team tonight, baby. Leaning on the team, and my guy Dominic Ferro is officially making his live appearance. All right, he on the active roster now, okay? So shout out to the homie Dom, man. And I do see the chat showing love to you as well. What up, X Concepts and J Ferro? But let's get this thing going, Dom. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf having a little throwing session out in UCLA, man. What's your take on that? How you feeling about that right there, man?
Well, the first thing, it shuts down the rumors that Aaron Rodgers is going to be retiring. That was one of the possibilities that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who's throwing a ball with one of the best receivers in the game in late March, that's somebody who's not retiring. That is somebody who has no plans on leaving the NFL. So he's still all in on playing football. And then the other thing I think about is how many teams have a contract for this guy? That's right. There's only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to be coming here. I can almost guarantee it at this point.
Oh, hey, look. I like what you're saying. Now, because to me, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what were the odds, right? Aaron Rodgers just so happens, of all places to be, he was just at UCLA. Just happened to be at UCLA the same day that DK Metcalf was there. Same time, same play. Oh, you got your cleats, I got my cleats. Oh, you got your workout, I got my workout clothes. And we got ample time. And we got a person that can record it. It just seemed like, you really trying to get this thing going, man. You trying to send us a real message. And I like
It's definitely no coincidence that this happened. It was organized. It was planned. They're trying to get the chemistry down.
The video looked too good. You see how good the video looked? The video looked good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And you could see Aaron Rodgers was pointing him out. He was telling them what routes to run. They're getting this thing locked down. But my question is, why wasn't Pickens in California?
Ooh.
We got to get everybody on the same page. So what's this going to mean? What's he thinking right now?
Now, I'm sure for GP, he has PTSD. We've been talking about ever since his pops went out and he had put the tweet out and it brought to my attention. I was like, you know what? You're right. 5 quarterbacks in 3 seasons is crazy. All right. It's absolutely crazy. I'm sure he's like, yo, before I start to look at number 6 and open up my heart to another guy, let me just wait. Let me just make sure it's real. And if that is the case, I can understand that. All right. Because Dom, you just imagine, Dom, if it was just, you got your heart broke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And now this person comes and they're like, I'm ready. I want you to be me. And he's like, I ain't ready for this right now. That's I can see that. So maybe that's why he wasn't out there at UCLA by coincidence.
Maybe he's not fully bought in yet, but just give it time. I think this is my prediction. I think exactly a week from today, that'll be the 9th, April 9th. Aaron Rodgers is going to announce he's signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pat McAfee's event in Pittsburgh. The crowd's gonna go nuts. I might think Mike Tomlin might be there too.
Hey.
Anything can happen here. But I know that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be giving this scoop to Adam Schefter or other people at ESPN that he doesn't like.
He doesn't like Schefter. Remember how they was beefing? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. He would love nothing more. He would love to do that PPG Paints Arena in front of Pittsburgh. I think the crowd would go nuts.
And it's already sold out. It's already sold out.
Sold out in minutes.
Come on, man. Like, you got one of the biggest shows on network TV / YouTube. Because I'm like, do we call it network TV since he's on ESPN? But he's still on YouTube. He a big dog on YouTube still. Like, that thing is in person. And it makes too much sense, doesn't it, Dom? When you think about Rodgers' connection to McAfee, even Coach T's connection with McAfee and Rodgers, the show being in the city, Rodgers loves the dramatics. Mr. Rooney even saying, I'm willing to wait a little bit longer. I'm just saying. The
part that I'm skeptical about is why would the Steelers not release this first? That's the only part I'm skeptical about.
What you mean?
They're all aboard. Why would the Steelers be like, oh, yeah, sure, Pat McAfee, ESPN guy, he can announce it before the team announces it. Maybe they want to, bring some hype. That's what I'm hoping for.
You got to bring hype.
Think it's all pointing the signs. It's all pointing the signs that next week, Aaron Rodgers, he'll announce it. I just think it makes too much sense right now.
And listen, after the way that the Steelers handled the quarterback situation this offseason, Remember, Mr. Rooney was on record saying the priority to sign is either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, to the point where people had already predetermined, yo, Fields is signed. It's going to be him. And we have neither one of those guys. So I just think that maybe the team could be like, you know what? Yeah, let's give me big pop with this one right here. I get the fans back on our side a little bit. Because it's been a real rough. And I think the longer we wait, the rougher it gets, and it is entertainment.
Yeah.
This is the entertainment industry. Agree. We got to sell some tickets, sell a couple jerseys.
I completely agree. And you mentioned how Art Rooney, he's expressed so much optimism about signing Rodgers. They said it was such a positive discussion when he visited recently to the facility. I feel like I don't get the same amount of optimism from the front office with this quarterback draft class than I do with them talking about Rodgers.
I definitely caught the same thing that you caught. Yes, I'm with you. The smiles, even Coach Tomlin in the midst of his sweat storm, he was like, hey, shit, man. Hey, it was a good conversation. I keep that between me and him, though. Like, all right, okay. I see what's going on here. I see like a little connection going on. Uh-huh. Now, I do got to ask one little rebuttal, though. There was a legendary quarterback, one of my former teammates, guy that didn't won me a ton of games. Whew. Big Benjamin Roethlisberger, Big Ben, baby. Oh. Now, he had some thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers situation and on, the potential play or the potential move might not be he's waiting out for us. It could be that he ultimately is trying to get to a different colorway that is purple and gold. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I get how that would be appealing. Kevin McConnell, offensive mind, a real quarterback guy.
You saw what he did for Sam Darnold. You saw what Sam Darnold looked like.
Yeah, he can make magic happen. I believe in the Vikings offense, and their defense was really strong last year as well. So it's a good team all around. But like I mentioned right off the top, he doesn't have a contract offer from them. There's an offer from the Steelers out there.
This is true.
He doesn't really have an option at my point. He can hold out as long as he wants, but the closer we get, he doesn't want to be stranded here. Like I said, he obviously wants to be playing football. He has respect for Mike Tomlin, maybe more than he has respect for Kevin McConnell, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. I think Steelers makes a lot more sense. I think the Vikings are still very interested in J.J. McCarthy. They want to see if they've got a franchise guy, I think, sooner rather than later.
But if you're Aaron Rodgers, just on paper, what sounds more appealing? DK Metcalf and George Pickens, or Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison?
That is so tough. I hate to say it. I lean the Vikings. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the game right now.
Man.
No one can deny that. He's the best. Probably
Rodgers is used to Devontae Adams. You feel me? And I'm like, oh, you can go to that. Oh.
But you also got to think about like the ground game. I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to be slinging the rock every time at this point in his career.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers' offensive line is in better shape. Depending on what they do in the draft, maybe Ashton Genty, that could be interesting. I think the ground game is stronger.
You see how he's looking right now, man. Come on now. Stock up.
And Aaron Jones over Minnesota, that is just a ticking time bomb. In my opinion, he's an aging back. I don't think that an aging back.
Look, bring him back. That's the Green Bay. It'd be back to the Green Bay days, man. Rodgers, Aaron Jones, the good times, man.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much faith in their run game being very strong next year.
No, I could definitely see what you seeing, man. I could definitely see what you are seeing. And if y'all are digging the homie Dom being on the call tonight, man, make sure you hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, Dom, I gotta ask you then, okay? We got new news about the Rodgers thing, right? In terms of we saw the throwing session, him and DK Metcalf. We've obviously heard how Mr. Rooney has talked about it, how Coach Tomlin was talking about him as well. What is your updated plan at quarterback right now? Are we still sitting here, you full go on Rodgers, or are you kind of turning your page and looking and saying, man, I don't think this is the best draft. Draft is draft. Let's go draft. Where we at right now? What you feeling like?
Yeah, my opinion has changed week to week since the season ended. At first, I was like,
look,
Justin Fields,
all of ours.
And then he went to the Jets. And then I was thinking maybe Daniel Jones because
Oh,
it's
Danny
attractive
Dimes.
price,
Danny
maybe
Dimes.
potential there. And I was kind of out on Aaron Rodgers just because, he's got a big personality. And
Yeah.
that's not the type of guy I envision being the captain of the Steelers. But
Yeah.
the more I think about it and the more I think about how good of a quarterback he was just a few years ago. I mean, this is a guy, Super Bowl MVP, 4-time MVP, 10-time Pro Bowler.
I mean, he got
juice.
juice.
What else
He
can we
got
ask
juice.
for?
Yeah.
What more can we ask for out of a guy? He's got all the experience necessary. I just hope that, he keeps his head on straight. He can keep the locker room in order. That's the biggest concern, in my opinion. And if things don't go well, I think next year's quarterback class in the draft is so much stronger. None of these guys, especially Jackson Dart, who have been seeing
everybody's loving Jackson Dart right now. Everybody's loving him right now, man.
I just don't want the Steelers to make the same mistake they made just 3 years ago with a weak quarterback class.
Oh, my God.
Just because there are no good quarterbacks in the draft doesn't mean you got to take them in the first round.
He said it. He did it. Oh.
I'll take it a step further. I like my quarterbacks to not be wearing gloves.
No.
And Aaron Rodgers was slinging it to DK Metcalf, and he was looking good without the gloves. So
he was gloveless.
I'm with Aaron Rodgers right now. That's what I'm on.
Hashtag no gloves. Y'all know what time it is, man. All right, I like it. I like it. Shout out to Dom, man. Shout out to Dom. All right, well, I did want to float this one by you, and then after that, man, we'll get up out of here. But I saw one of these articles. They were out there floating, different quarterback ideas, quarterback concepts, and they said, what if the Steelers were to trade for Anthony Richardson? What if that was the play at quarterback? How would you feel about that? Anthony Richardson, because obviously we know the Colts, they just signed Daniel Jones. And when you think about Anthony Richardson, they haven't been sold on him. I mean, they benched him multiple times for Joe Flacco. And then, like I said, obviously them bringing in Daniel Jones in the contract that he is under, it does make it a little bit interesting. So would that be a person that you would even consider as an option?
I would definitely consider it if the price is right. There are ways to get these guys for way cheaper than what they're initially valued at. A first round guy we could get for maybe a 4th round pick. I think that would be the most. I'm not willing to give a lot for a guy who hasn't proved a lot in the NFL so far. I don't think the Colts are going to move on from him this quick. If things are bad in the middle of the season and the Colts have benched Anthony Richardson and they're looking to trade him, that would be something I'd be okay with. But I just can't see them getting a good deal for Anthony Richardson before the season.
Yeah, I can see that. I think if Daniel Jones beats him out in training camp, then if you're going into week 1, week 2, he's definitely available. But now you're talking about trading for a quarterback in the middle of the season. And now saying, come over here and, run this thing, run this offense completely different than what you've been running in Indianapolis. Different everything and expectations infinitely higher here as well. That's the only thing that kind of makes me a little bit off on it. But I wonder if, the Rodgers thing does work out, would that still potentially be an option? Because we know Omar Khan said he wants to add 2 more quarterbacks. So, it could be. It'd be a rich
Mason
Rudolph. It'd be really rich. It'd be really rich. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'm up for that. I think it really depends on what they do in the draft. If you're going into next season with Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson, I think it's a no-brainer to see what you can get or see what you can do with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
But if it's Aaron Rodgers or if it's Jackson Dart in this locker room, I just don't see that happening unless they're super desperate, which I hope isn't the case. Respect
on that. I like it. Hey, Dom, man, shout out to you, man, making your first live appearance, man. Anything left for the people before you get up out of here, man?
Shout out to the Arthur Moats experience. Shout out to 717. I saw one of the listeners in there. And, thank you for having me on the show. It's good to finally join up. Hope to be on again soon.
No, absolutely, man. We definitely going to do this again, man. Appreciate you as always, baby.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, man. Peace. Shout out to the homie Dominic Ferro right there, all right? Hopefully y'all were enjoying, him rocking out with us tonight. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Like I said, man, Dom's been one of the behind-the-scenes dudes, man, for a while now, man, and has recently started, dropping more content, solo content as well as content with me, and had to make sure he got his first live appearance, man. So we will be doing that again with him, man. And like I said, man, in five more minutes, man, we will have the homie Tyler Candelaria also making his first live appearance, man.